Hello everyone, so welcome to my class in Basic Calculus. My name is Sir Ala and I will be your teacher in this subject. So we are on the first week of our Basic Calculus. So on the first week of Basic Calculus, we are going to deal with the limits of a function. Okay, what is the limits of a function? So given real numbers c and l, if the values f of x of a function is approach or be equal to l as the values of x approach but not equal c, we say that f has a limit l as x approaches c. So we write the limit of f of x as x approaches c is equal to l. So meaning if the limits of a function as x approaches c is the limit L. So ano ba yung value ng L? So pag sinabing value ng L, ito yung limits ng isang function. Pag sinabing limits ng isang function, hindi siya yung eksaktong number, but it's the approaching number. Ibig sabihin, yung mga values na nag-a-approach dun sa L, that is the limit. Okay? Hindi siya pwedeng lumampas sa L or hindi siya pwedeng tumaas kaysa sa L normally, okay? So hindi siya pwedeng lumampas kaysa sa L. So ibig sabihin, hindi siya eksaktong L, but the values are approaches to L. Okay? Nag-a-approach siya sa value ng L. Okay. Let's say for example, we have number 1. The limits of 3x minus 1 as x approaches to 1. So what are we going to do here is to determine the value of c. First thing yon, determine the value of c. So in this case, the value of c is 1. Okay? So in this case, the value of c is 1. So we write c is equal to 1. So the next thing that we are going to do is to substitute 1 from x. Okay? So lahat ng x ay papalitan natin ng 1 dun sa function. So we have 3x minus 1, we have 3 times 1 minus 1. And then we have 3 times 1 is 3 minus 1. This will give you 2. Therefore, the limit of 3x minus 1 as x approaches to 1 is equal to 2. So the value of L is 2. Therefore, we can say that the value of the limit is approaches to 2. Okay? Ano ba yung pwede nating masabi na approaches sa 2? Let's say for example, we have, ang sagot natin ay 2. So pag sinabi nating approaches to 2, it's either from the left or from the right. Depende sa scenario. If it's from the left, then the value of the limit is 1.9999. Okay? And so on. So approaches siya dun sa 2. Okay? Kung siya ay from the left. Pero kung siya naman ay from the right, okay? So that is 2.0001 and so on. So infinite din siya yung values niya, basta approaches dun sa 2. Okay? So this is from the right. Okay. So depende yan sa case. So nakalagay sa isang problem kung siya ba ay from the right or from the left. Pero generally, ang limit ay, pag sinabing limit, it's either from the left or from the right. Let's say for example, in number 1, we have the limits of 3x minus 1 as x approaches to 1. Walang sinabi na from the right or from the left. So therefore, generally, the limit is approaches to 2. It's either 1.9999 and so on, or 2.0001 and so on. Okay? So next, we have number 2. So the limits of x squared plus 2x minus 3 as x approaches to 4. So the first thing that we are going to do is to determine the value of c. In this case, the value of c is equal to 4. So what are we going to do is to substitute 4 to the x of the function. Okay, the given function is x squared plus 2x minus 3. So we have 4 squared plus 2 times 4 minus 3. Okay, so evaluating this one, we have 4 squared is equal to 16 plus 2 times 4 is 8 and then minus 3. 16 plus 8 is 24 minus 3. This will give you 21. So therefore, the limit of x squared plus 2x minus 3 as x approaches to 4 is equal to 21. So the limit L is 21. So therefore, it is approaches to 21. So it's either from the right or from the left. Just like what I said earlier, that the limits of a function, if the answer is 21, then if it's from the left, it's approaches from the left. Okay, if it's approaches from the left, then the value of the limit is 20.9999 and so on. And if it's from the right, okay, if it's from the right, then the limits is 21.0001 and so on. So approaches siya from the right or from the left generally. Okay? Kasi walang sinabi doon sa from the right or from the left. Okay, next, number 3. Example number 3, find the limits of x plus 5 all over 2x minus 1 as x approaches to 2. So again, the first thing that we are going to do is to determine the value of c. So in this case, the value of c is 2. So next, substitute 2 to the function. So the given function is x plus 5 over 2x minus 1. Isa-substitute mo lang yung 2. So you have 2 plus 5 all over 2 times 2 minus 1. So sa pag-evaluate niyan, so we have 2 plus 5. This will give you 7. And then 2 times 2 is 4 minus 1. So this will give you 7 over 3. So therefore, generally, the limits is approaches to 7 over 3. So the limit approaches to 7 over 3. Okay, next, number 4. If we have the limit of x squared minus 5x plus 6 over x squared minus 2x minus 3 as x approaches to 3, again, first thing first is to substitute or to determine the value of c and then substitute it to the function. Okay? So the value of c in this case is 3. So anong susunod natin gagawin? Isa-substitute natin yung 3 dun sa buong function. So we have 3 squared minus 5 times 3, okay, and then plus 6 all over. We have 3 squared minus 2 times 3 minus 3, okay? So evaluating this one, we can get 3 squared is equal to 9. Negative 5 times 3 is negative 15. And then plus 6 over 3 squared is 9. And then negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. And then minus 3. So this will give you 9 minus 15 is negative 6. Plus 6, this will give you 0. Over 9 minus 6 is 3. Minus 3, this will give you also 0. Now, the answer is 0 over 0, which is indeterminate. So we can easily determine the exact limit. So for you to solve for the exact limit, since the answer is 0 over 0, okay, if the answer is 0 over 0, we are going to simplify first the function given above. So we have x squared minus 5x plus 6 over x squared minus 2x minus 3. And the only thing that we can do to simplify this function is to factor the numerator and the denominator to find its common factor. And finding the common factor is the way on how to simplify this function. Okay? So let us first factor the numerator. Okay? So we have the limits of a function. We have the numerator x squared minus 5x plus 6. So sa pagfa-factor niyan, paano nga ba siya i-factor? I-factor niyo ang first term. We have x times x. Okay? Ano yung factor ng positive 6 na ang result kapag pinag-add mo ay negative 5? So, ang naisip ko na factor ng positive 6 ay negative 2 at saka negative 3. Bakit? It's because negative 2 times negative 3 is equal to positive 6 and negative 2 plus negative 3 is equal to negative 5. So therefore, the factor of it is x minus 2 times x plus x minus 3. So that is all over. Denominator naman. So factor din natin. So factor ni x squared minus 2x minus 3. Factor ng x squared ay x times x. Factor ng negative 3 na pag pinag-add mo ang sagot ay negative 2, we have negative 3 and positive 1. It's because negative 3 times positive 1 is negative 3. And negative 3 plus 1, this will give you negative 2. So therefore, this is the factor. So this is x approaches to 3. Okay. Now, we have x minus 2 times x minus 3 over x minus 3 times x plus 1. We can see the common factor that it is x minus 3. So we are going to cancel it. So nakita natin na siya ay common factor. So kinancel na natin siya. So we have the remaining expression. So we have the limits of x minus 2 over x plus 1 as x approaches 3. Okay? Now, again, go back tayo sa una nating ginawa. Anong ginawa natin sa pag-evaluate ng function? Kinuha muna natin yung value ng c and then sinubstitute natin sa given function. So the value of c in this case is 3. So substituting 3 by the given function x minus 2 over x plus 1, we have 3 minus 2 over 3 plus 1. So this will give you 3 minus 2 is 1 and then 3 plus 1 is 4. So the limit approaches to 1/4. Okay? So that is the answer, not 0 over 0. Okay? So ito lang yung tatandaan nyo. Once na kapag ang sagot nyo, kapag unang beses nyo pa lang na nag-substitute at ang kinalabasan ng sagot ay 0 over 0, hindi ibig sabihin na wala ng sagot dyan. Okay? So ang only thing na gagawin nyo ay mag-factor ng numerator at mag-factor ng denominator and then find the common factor, cancel the common factor and then write the remaining expression, and after writing the remaining expression, go back kayo sa first step na ginawa, find ulit ang c, and then sinubstitute ulit yung value ng c, and then sinolve, and then you got this value. Okay? You got this value, 1/4. Okay, next. Let's have the limits of x plus 2 over x plus 4 as x approaches to negative 4. So in this case, again, the first step that we need to do is to find the value of c. So the value of c in this case is, okay, the value of c in this case is negative 4. So substituting negative 4 to the function x plus 2 over x plus 4, you have negative 4 plus 2. Okay. Okay, so negative 4 plus 2 over negative 4 plus 4. So now, answering this one, you got negative 4 plus 2 is equal to negative 2 over negative 4 plus 4, this will give you 0. Now, ito naman yung case na to, kapag naman ang numerator ay may number or may value, tas ang denominator mo ay 0, automatic po na ang sagot ay the limit does not exist. Okay? So kapag ganyan, the limit does not exist. Again, kapag may number sa taas or may value yung nasa taas and then yung denominator mo ay 0, the limit does not exist. Ibig sabihin, ang numerator, any real number. Pero ang denominator mo, 0, the limit does not exist. Kasi walang kahit anong number na pwedeng i-divide by 0. Kasi undefined siya. Okay? Pagdating naman dito sa case natin doon sa number 4, 0 over 0, may pwede pa kayong gawin para ma-solve natin yung isang limits. Pero kung halimbawa, nagawa mo na yung 0 over 0 na i-factor mo na, tapos pag na-factor mo na, tapos kinancel mo na yung mga common factors, and then may natira kang expression, and then sinubstitute mo yung value ng c, then ang kinalabasan pa rin ay halimbawa ay may over zero pa rin, then you can conclude na that the limit does not exist. Okay? So always remember that in evaluating the limit, just substitute the value of c in the expression and then solve it. Okay? Just substitute the value of c in the expression and then solve it. So if happens that the limit is 0 over 0, we need to simplify the expressions by factoring the numerator and denominator, and after that cancel the common factor and write the remaining expression. And finally, evaluate again the limit by substituting the value of c to the remaining expressions, then solve. So if happens naman na the limit is r over 0, where r is any real number except 0, then the limit does not exist. So saka ka magko-conclude na the limit does not exist kapag ka may number or may value yung numerator but the denominator is still 0. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope you learned everything, or I hope you learned something from our class, Basic Calculus. So our topic is the limits of a function. Always remember that um, in basic calculus, we are to deal with analysis and application. So, kapag meron tayong analysis dun sa ating pinag-aralan, so we have or may maiisip tayo na pwedeng application o meron palang pwedeng i-apply dun sa limits of a function. Okay. So, thank you for listening and God bless.